I'm standing at the firing line, the target set at 25 yards, and I'm thinking about one thing: tight, repeatable groups. In 2025, revolvers aren't relics of a bygone era. They're precision instruments. Today I'm taking you through 7 revolvers that, in my experience and testing, deliver consistency and accuracy that rivals many semi-automatic platforms. In this video, I'll cover each gun's design, barrel construction, locking system, trigger characteristics, and how those factors translate to real-world performance. I'm talking about models like the Ruger GP100, Colt King Cobra, Smith & Wesson Model 686, Korth Combat, Colt Python Modern, Manurhin MR73, and the Ruger Super Redhawk, all evaluated for grouping size, durability, and shootability. I'll also lay out the criteria I used: mechanical tolerances, barrel manufacturing method, cylinder lockup, sight radius and sight system, and weight and ergonomics. If you care about the technical details as much as I do, stay tuned. There's a lot of subtle engineering that makes these wheel guns stand out. If you're new here, hit subscribe and drop a comment with the revolver you want me to test next. All right, let's get into it. I love Ruger GP100. The first thing that hits me is the feel. Solid, no nonsense, like a tool built to work. I've put a bunch of rounds through this platform at 25 yards, and what stands out is consistency. The gun just wants to make groups. If you're the kind of shooter who values repeatable results over flash, this is the wheel gun that earns your respect. Technically speaking, the GP100's real magic is in the details. That triple locking cylinder, front, rear, and bottom, is what keeps cylinder-to-barrel alignment dead true shot after shot. Couple that with a cold hammer-forged barrel, precise rifling, and a 4.20-inch barrel length, and you've got a package engineered around consistent bullet exit and stable velocity. The factory Hogue monogrip gives you repeatable hand placement, and the combination of an adjustable rear sight and ramped front sight lets me dial in point of impact depending on the load. On the range, the GP100 doesn't ask for excuses. It eats everything from light 380 special target loads to full-power 357 Magnum without losing composure. At roughly 40 ounces, the weight soaks up recoil. That mass is part of why my groups tighten when the barrel warms up. The transfer bar safety adds confidence without compromising the trigger feel in single action. And the modular design means I can swap grips or sights without special tools. At around $800, the GP100 is the practical accuracy king. Not the flashiest, but a damn reliable performer. If you want a revolver that will hold a consistent zero, run through thousands of rounds, and still be comfortable to shoot, the GP100 should be high on your list. Picking up the Colt King Cobra feels like handling a piece of history that's been given a modern heartbeat. I remember the first time I shouldered the target variant. The fiber optic front sight jumped into my vision, and the balance felt unexpectedly refined for a 6-shot Magnum revolver. It's the kind of gun that rewards careful sight picture and deliberate trigger work.
What sets the King Cobra apart is how Colt blended classic ergonomics with contemporary engineering. The target model's 4.25-inch barrel gives a healthy sight radius without becoming unwieldy, and the fully adjustable rear sight lets you tune windage and elevation precisely to the load you run. Internally, Colt's modern metallurgy and tight tolerances reduce play between the cylinder and barrel, and that matters. A small misalignment will destroy group consistency, and Colt avoids that problem. Trigger feel is a big part of the story. In single action, the release is crisp, the kind of break that invites you to aim slowly and let the gun do the rest. In double action, it's smooth enough to be used for follow-up shots without wrecking your sight picture. The target variant also benefits from polished internals and a refined single-action brake that trims lock time and gives a cleaner break. On the range, the King Cobra excels with precision-oriented loads. Match-grade 38 specials and light .357 Magnums produce surprisingly tight groups, while full-power Magnums remain controllable thanks to the frame design and thoughtful balance. Priced around $1,150, the King Cobra is a premium tool, not bargain bin, but not unobtainable for shooters who want classic Colt lines with modern accuracy. If you want a revolver that looks right and shoots even better, the King Cobra target variant deserves serious consideration. The Smith & Wesson 686 is one of those guns that's earned its place in firearms lore, and for good reason. The first time I ran a cylinder through one, I realized why it's been trusted by law enforcement and competition shooters alike for decades. Everything about it screams durability and precision, and those two qualities go hand in hand when you're talking about consistent accuracy. Built on the company's famous L-frame, the 686 is engineered specifically to handle the pounding of continuous .357 Magnum use. The frame incorporates extra steel in high-stress areas, which means you can shoot thousands of full-power rounds without loosening the action or losing alignment. The 4.13-inch barrel delivers excellent velocity while keeping the revolver balanced in the hand. That's the sweet spot for control and precision. It's a stainless steel construction front to back, which doesn't just look great, it resists corrosion, an important factor if you shoot or hunt in humid climates. The red ramp front sight pops even in low light, and the adjustable rear sight allows micro adjustments for different loads or distances. At around 40 ounces, it's heavy enough to tame Magnum recoil, but still light enough for extended sessions. Trigger-wise, the double-action pull is smooth and predictable, while the single-action brake is glassy and crisp, ideal for slow, precise shots at 25 yards. For shooters who like to personalize, the synthetic grip can easily be swapped for custom wood or rubber designs. With a street price near $900, the Model 686 isn't just a legend, it's a workhorse that continues to deliver match-grade accuracy without needing special tuning. The first time I hefted a Korth Combat, it was obvious this wasn't built for the average range day. It was built for perfection. There's a tactile difference. Everything fits so tightly, it feels like the parts were machined to a tolerance that belonged in an instrument shop rather than a typical gun factory. That precision payoff shows up on the target.
Korth's reputation rests on manufacturing tolerances that verge on obsessive. The barrels are often cold-forged and hand-fitted, and the lockup systems are designed to eliminate any trace of cylinder play, which is the silent killer of group size. Add in premium finishes like DLC coating to reduce friction and wear, and you've got a revolver that maintains its point of impact shot after shot. The adjustable sighting systems on Korths are micrometer-level precise, letting you make tiny corrections for windage and elevation that translate to noticeably tighter groups at 25 to 50 yards. Ergonomics are equally refined. The grip geometry, often custom or semi-custom, encourages consistent hand placement and natural pointing, and trigger mechanics are tuned to a level where both double-action follow-ups and single-action precision shots feel authoritative. In heavier calibers like .44 Magnum, the mass and balance of a combat variant help control muzzle flip, keeping follow-up shots usable in the field. That level of craftsmanship comes at a cost. A Korth sits firmly in the premium tier. But if your goal is benchmark-level accuracy from a wheel gun, something you can trust to hold tiny groups and resist wear, the Korth Combat delivers in ways few others do. For shooters who demand the absolute best from a revolver and are willing to pay for it, Korth is the pinnacle. There's something almost mythical about the Colt Python. For decades, it's been the gold standard of double-action revolvers, smooth, precise, and built with that unmistakable Colt flair. When I finally got my hands on the modern version, I wasn't sure if it could live up to the legend. But after running a few cylinders of .357 Magnum through it, the answer was clear. This isn't just nostalgia, it's evolution done right. Colt didn't simply reissue the Python, they rebuilt it with today's materials and machining. The new model uses stainless steel construction for greater strength and corrosion resistance, while maintaining that classic mirror-polished finish that collectors love. One of the smartest updates is the re-engineered rear sight, which now sits on a base that's roughly 30% stronger than the old design, a fix for the durability issues that plagued some earlier Pythons. The recessed target crown and interchangeable front sight add functional upgrades that shooters will appreciate when zeroing different loads or shooting under varied lighting conditions. The trigger remains a thing of beauty. Double action is buttery smooth, while the single action brake is crisp and predictable. Colt also improved internal tolerances, giving the gun a consistent lockup and eliminating the micro variations that can throw off point of impact. The 3-inch barrel variant I tested feels agile and balanced, making it perfect for both range work and defensive carry. At around $1,700, the new Python isn't cheap, but it's built to be heirloom grade. It shoots as well as it looks, delivering tight groups and a shooting experience that blends heritage and modern precision. For anyone who ever admired the original, this modern Python proves that legends can, in fact, come back stronger. When you pick up a Manurhin MR73, you can feel the difference immediately. This is a revolver that was built for warriors, not collectors. Designed originally for the French gendarmerie and special service units, the MR73 was required to survive grueling endurance tests. Tens of thousands of rounds of full-power .357 Magnum ammo without failure. Most guns couldn't dream of surviving that kind of torture, but the MR73 didn't just survive, it thrived. That history of over-engineering defines every inch of this revolver. The 4-inch barrel offers ideal balance between sight radius and maneuverability, while the overall construction is machined to tolerances so tight they could belong on a lab instrument. Every MR73 that leaves the factory is individually test-fired and inspected. No two leave without meeting Manurhin's extreme accuracy standards. The double-action trigger pull is a masterclass in smoothness, breaking cleanly without stacking or disturbing your sight picture, and the single-action mode is so crisp it feels telepathic. In terms of ergonomics, the MR73's grip design promotes perfect recoil management aided by its 34-ounce weight that keeps the gun stable without feeling bulky. The revolver chambers both .38 Special and .357 Magnum, giving shooters flexibility to train cheap and fight hard. What really stands out, though, is the sense of mechanical harmony. Every click, every pull feels intentional and precise. At roughly $3,500, the MR73 is far from budget-friendly, but you're buying into a legacy of absolute reliability and professional-grade precision. This isn't a weekend plinker. It's a revolver designed for the people whose lives depended on it. For those who demand unmatched durability and combat-proven accuracy, the MR73 remains in a class of its own. The Ruger Super Redhawk isn't just a revolver, it's a statement of raw American engineering. When you first lift it, you realize this thing means business. Built to harness the sheer force of .44 Magnum, the Super Redhawk proves that power doesn't have to come at the expense of accuracy. On the range, it delivers performance that borders on rifle-level precision when handled correctly. The secret lies in the gun's design. The extended frame is reinforced with extra steel in critical areas like the top strap, sidewalls, and barrel mounting point. That strength isn't overkill. It's what allows the revolver to maintain tight tolerances even under extreme pressure. The triple locking cylinder system ensures perfect alignment, locking the cylinder front, rear, and bottom for flawless timing every single shot. The cold hammer forged barrel with a 1 20-inch right-hand twist delivers uniform bore dimensions, translating to consistent velocity and clean bullet stabilization. At 53 ounces, it's a beast, but that mass is part of what makes it so controllable. Recoil is absorbed, not punished, especially when paired with the Hogue Tamer monogrip, which features an internal cushion to soak up Magnum recoil. The 7.5-inch barrel variant stretches the sight radius, helping you pull off long-range precision shots that would embarrass smaller guns. Built-in integral scope mounts on the top rib allow you to mount optics directly without worrying about alignment or shifting, a huge plus for handgun hunters. Priced around $1,200, the Ruger Super Redhawk sits in that sweet spot between factory precision and custom-level performance. It's the revolver I reach for when I want to stretch the limits of handgun accuracy. Big, heavy, unapologetic, it's everything a Magnum revolver should be, and then some. After putting all 7 of these revolvers through their paces, one thing is clear: precision isn't limited to polymer frames or race guns. Whether it's the affordable dependability of the Ruger GP100, the classic meets modern refinement of the Colt King Cobra, the battle-tested toughness of the Smith & Wesson 686, or the watchmaker-level craftsmanship of the Korth Combat, each wheelgun earns its place in this lineup for one reason: it delivers results. Then you've got legends reborn, like the Colt Python, proving that history and innovation can share the same cylinder. The Manurhin MR73 stands as the definition of military-grade perfection, while the Ruger Super Redhawk brings brute power and long-range accuracy together better than any big-bore revolver has a right to. Every one of these revolvers represents a different philosophy of precision, from American practicality to European engineering, yet they all arrive at the same destination: accuracy that you can trust. So which one would I pick? Honestly, it depends on you, your budget, your shooting style, your mission. Drop your pick down below. Hit that subscribe and tell me which revolver you'd trust to make that perfect shot.